when I was 16, I ran away from home and I spent the next 2 years in all kinds of drama. I slept under a bridge, I lived in homeless hostels, I slept on couches of people that I didn't know. And I went through quite an experience, really. It's on my own head. I had a loving family. I was just a bit confused as a teenager. But I came round that. And I think the story really of that time is that the people who we perceive in society that should help you, they don't necessarily help. And the people we perceive in society that are down and outs, sometimes they're the ones that have really got your back. So try not to judge people too much on their situation and really start to treat people based on how they've treated you.
You can say as much or a little as you want here. Could you share with me any anecdotes of, those days being a homeless person and when somebody really did have your back?
Yeah, well, it's not a story that I get out there often. In fact, I don't think I've told it apart from one-to-one. So this is new. But I was at the telephone box and I was calling, I can't remember who I was calling, a friend or something, because this is before the days of mobile phones, by the way. This is 1996. So I'm at the telephone box and I'm calling somebody and I meet a Somalian man. And the Somalian man was like, oh, hi, do you want to come back and hang out at a friend's house? And I was like, yeah, cool, because I'm naive at 16 years old and thought that was fine. And I ended up in this room of other Somalians. And then when somebody passed me something to smoke, the person I was with came over, rushed and knocked it out of my hand, and then punched the person who handed it to me because it ended up being heroin. So he really saved me from a time when it could have really destroyed me. Luckily, nothing like that happened, but he was a savior and I would always be grateful to him.
It's interesting you say that because for whatever reason, one of Malta's largest minorities, not far behind the Brits and the Italians and the Serbs, are Somalians. And I see a lot of them in the local cafes. They've been working, they come, for a tea, coffee, whatever, and they're proudly wearing their jackets, quite a colourful flag that they've got. And it's nice to, kind of, what's the word? Hear a little story about one of them. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. I mean, their Somalian culture has grown in Milton Keynes, especially. I don't know other places. And people will tell you all the negative stuff about it. I mean, heroin it features in every single culture. This is not specific to Somalians, but what they don't say is actually how nice they can be at the same time. They just don't look past their own bias.